Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. We have George Russell and Into You. Let's watch together.
Mercedes went into the summer break with such a head of steam after that series of wins. It's been harder since then, but do you think it's just, if you put it all together, you can be back in that fight with McLaren and
Absolutely.
Ferrari? Yeah?
I don't think there's a lot that can make you fall down the order. In previous years gone by, if you nailed a weekend and you, let's say, overachieved by a tenth or two of your performance, it didn't change the result. Whereas now, if you overachieve by a tenth or two, you win the race, and if you underachieve by a tenth or two, you finish P7 or P8. And that's how the sport is. So it's a matter of fine margins, and we just got to ensure that we're on top of our game to try and stay at the front of that field.
Looking back at Monza, the mistake at the start destroyed your race,
Yep.
and as you seem to be a very self-critical person, if I may say that, is there a special way you work on avoiding mistakes in races?
I think you learn from every single moment. For me, it was high risk, high reward, and it went against me. I had a similar approach in Barcelona, and I went from fourth to the lead. So you can't get it right every single time. You can't judge things perfectly, and in hindsight, it's very easy to say I should have, or I could have braked 1 meter earlier when I was traveling at 300 kilometers an hour. I didn't. It happens, and you move on.
In a championship where Lando is 63 points behind Max, now that he's got Oscar working to support him in that way, and while I don't think they'll take a win away from Oscar, they'll do everything more or less, but is that going to put Lando in a winnable position for the championship? How do you think that would shake out?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, McLaren without doubt are the fastest team on the grid at the moment, and if you look at probably the last 6 or 7 races, they could have arguably won every single one. So, yeah, Lando's driving great, and with the support of his teammate, let's see. But I think it more depends on Max's performance, and if he's able to finish in those second and third places, it'll be very difficult for Lando. If he's finishing in 5th, 6th and 7th, then it will swing pretty quick. But I'm confident Lando and McLaren are going to be winning a lot more races from here into the end of the season.
I think you are still the president of the GPDA. Just an opinion about the penalty points to see Kevin out for one race for a racing incident.
Yeah.
Of course, if it was a consequence of other things, but do you not think it's too strong, too harsh?
I think you can look at it both ways. I mean, you need to set a precedent for the younger kids watching. Was his penalty in Monza harsh? Potentially. Were some of the other incidents too weak? Potentially. And there hasn't been a driver banned in 12 years. So you can look at it both ways, but yeah, I think for a driver, sometimes they go for you, sometimes they go against you. If you get the 12 points, it's the same as in go-karting, the same as in F3 or F2, you get the ban.
Oh, he said a lot of things, but the most important thing that he said is like, even though McLaren has announced that Oscar Piastri will potentially help Lando Norris achieve his championship dream, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. And George and everyone on the grid knows that. It's not. Oscar Piastri reminds me of Nico Rosberg. Nico Rosberg did a lot of damages to Lewis Hamilton while they were driving for the same team. Yeah. And George Russell is a little bit scared of McLaren. tell you the truth. But as he said, if Max Verstappen gains his aura back, you know, his positivity, let's say, like strength, and then it's gonna be hard for Lando. But we will watch and see what's gonna happen, especially at this race. It's gonna be really interesting things. Yeah, that's it. Thank you everyone for watching this video with us. Please don't forget to like and subscribe our channel. If you have something to add up, comment down below, and I'll see you in